Yes. Am I doing this one? It looks like maybe I should do this one. This is coming from Interesting Engineering, an outlet, a respected outlet, a family outlet, an outlet that we've brought to this show before, supposedly all about very serious inventions and gizmos and doodads. But today, it's a little different. The headline is Humans Could Breathe Out of Their Behinds Like Pigs, and trials will begin this year. I don't know if I can say that word, Laura. That is ludicrous.
I don't like this header image either. I mean, I'm sure they found
the
this.
Header image is just a bunch of pig butts. I mean, it's kind of cute. They little curly cute, tails, but yeah, what an interesting choice for the editor of this article to use the BH word. But I will be saying behind as I want to do. Let's see here. As is my right as an American. Got a blocked nose? No worries. Soon you'll have another option to breathe through. Your behind. You heard it right. Instead, an option to breathe through. We'll have options. Another option. In studies exploring treatment for people with respiratory conditions.
COVID.
Yeah. A team of researchers in Japan, of course, has revealed that pigs can absorb oxygen through the anus, according to Vice World News. What? The scientists discovered that the animals could survive without breathing through their lungs when oxygen and oxygenated liquid are pumped through their behinds into their intestines. Gonzo, what in the world is going on over there in Japan? This sounds like a Fauci's Beagles situation. How do you run these experiments? Who would even think of running this experiment? Quote, oh, this is great. Quote, it's so impressive because we never thought of breathing from the gut, but it's possible. Takanori Takibi, an author of the study and a doctor at the Tokyo Medical and Dental University and weird pervert, told Vice World News. Last year, Takibi and his colleagues from Nagoya University Graduate School and Kyoto University's Department of Respiratory Surgery published their study focusing on mice. Oh no. And mice and how rodents and pigs share with certain aquatic organisms the ability to use their intestines for respiration. They will submit the research on pigs to a U.S. medical journal in August. While that sounds cool and disturbing, well, I can agree with a half of that assessment. Cool and disturbing. I'm not sure.
Maybe cool
fascinating.
Is not.
Maybe fascinating.
It might be a temperature thing, not a existential cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever you got to tell yourself, cons. Well, that sounds cool. I'm thinking of the Fonz is popping up in my mind now when I read cool there. Hey, well, that sounds cool and disturbing. Research indicates that it could be possible with humans too. No! Stop researching this! Considering that pigs are closer to the latter in physiology and genetic makeup. They do think of us as pigs, don't they?
They do. They love
pigs in human clothing. The scientists observe the unconventional breathing method. Yeah, that is one way of describing it. The scientists observed the unconventional breathing method by loaches, a freshwater fish that uses its intestines to breathe. They found that the structure of the loach's guts tissues changed to allow for easier breathing in conditions where there isn't enough oxygen available at the tissue level. Takibi had tested mice to check if animals would also breathe through their anus in oxygen-deprived conditions. he suffocated these mice. He suffocated these mice.
For science!
And left their
How
butts.
dare you? This is for humanity!
He left the mice's butts out in the air and put the front of the mouse underwater. This is not okay. According to the findings published in the journal Med last year. Med, you cannot publish this. Quote, I'm always very skeptical about the results. But it turns out, every time we do the tests, we can get reproducible data sets, said Takibi.
Maybe you're throwing this guy under the bus. Maybe he, stumbled like any kind of science. He stumbles across it.
Just whoopsie doodles. I was totally doing something else when I was suffocating all these pigs and mice. He's like, he was in the lab late at night when he thought nobody would be there, and a janitor walked in, and he's suffocating these mice and these pigs for pleasure or something.
And they won't die.
The janitor walks, yes, they knew too much. These pigs and these mice knew too much. And the janitor walks in and he's like, I'm just doing some science. And the janitor's like, I'm just a janitor, man, but this doesn't look like science. He's like, no, it's science. These guys can breathe through their butts. It's fine. I'm a scientist, and I'm totally not on some sort of list or registry somewhere, and don't have to tell my neighbors when I move into the neighborhood. I don't live within 5 miles of a school, but that's my own choice and not legally mandated, said Takibi. Takibi's study revealed that mice who received the treatment lived longer than what treatment?
The liquid.
Oh, the liquid. Takibi's study revealed that mice who received the treatment longer, than the ones that didn't. So they died anyways. They lived longer, but the treatment mice still died. This is not okay. Okay, I'm just going to make it through this. The experiments showed that mammals could survive longer in low oxygen situations when given oxygenated gas or liquid through their rectums. Oh. However, this isn't an evolutionary okay? This isn't an evolutionary adaptation for mammals like loaches and catfish. Is he making a case for creationism? This proves there's a God, he said to himself. Now, why is this study crucial? Why is this study crucial, Gons? Crucial enough to bring to this family program. It could provide options for treating patients who suffer respiratory failure. Doctors opt for mechanical ventilation when a patient needs oxygen. In the process, a machine pushes air through the windpipe.
Sound familiar? Sound Cuomo?
Yeah.
Little Cuomo
Ventilators.
Action? Yeah.
It's the COVID ventilators. Watch out. New wave of COVID patients.
I mean, seriously, though.
You're not getting the ventilator treatment anymore. I'll tell you that much. Another technique called extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, wherein blood is pumped out of the body, reoxygenated with a machine, is also attempted. However, it carries the risk of bleeding and blood clots. That's when Takibi considers the unusual but life-saving option. In his former experiment, and it goes on. There's not that much left. In his former, there was an experiment before this. Great.
This is lifelong scientist doing hard work. How dare you?
He's done it before, and he'll do it again. In his former experiment, his team also eliminated barriers that could prevent oxygen uptake in the gut. They scraped the mice's mucosa, the innermost layer of, this is giving me a tummy ache, layer of the gastrointestinal tract, and then injected the gaseous oxygen into the animals. If anything, this helped the rodents survive even longer. Oh, I'm sure they were so grateful. These mice stopped gasping for air and showed 0 signs of cardiac arrest. What a breakthrough. The researchers also tried delivering oxygen in liquid form, as mucosal removal could be uncomfortable for patients. They added oxygen to perfluorodecalan, a chemical that can dissolve large amounts of oxygen. Upon injecting the liquid into the mice's behinds, oxygen levels improved. The same holds when tested on pigs and rats. There's a third victim. Caleb Kelly, a gastroenterology fellow at Yale University, who's not
there it is again. Yale.
Oh, Yale.
Not affiliated with the study, though, but of course commenting on the most cutting edge of control methodologies.
Well, Yale has to get their 2 cents in. They're not going to be drowning any animals or people without Yale's approval. Fellow at Caleb Kelly, a gastroenterology fellow at Yale University who's not affiliated with the study, described the scientists' newfound method as promising. He said with a diabolical grin. However, Kelly added that animal models don't accurately depict what critically ill patients might experience during respiratory failure. Takebe plans to start human clinical trials early this year to prove its real-life efficacy after confirming the method's safety. We only asked if we could. Takebe, please ask if you should. The scientists will recruit patients with recruit. Is that what they call it these days? Recruit patients with respiratory conditions to put his,
in World War II, it was
findings to the test, Gons.
In the past, it was recruiting to protect your country.
Yeah.
Now it's to protect from.
It's your patriotic duty
deprivation
to stick your head in this water and let Takebe fix you. It ends with saying, well, it's always great to have options.
Science is truth.
Oh, interesting engineering. This is really something, ain't it? I mean, you think about the beast system. Since you played the jingle, I suppose we have to think about the beast system, don't we? The genetic modifications, the cyborgism. I'm sure you could create some sort of mechanism, some sort of implant. Maybe like some sort of emergency ripcord that you can pull. Attached, it's on your belt, and if you start suffocating, you pull the ripcord, and it opens a bag. That's been installed prior, and you can breathe anywhere.
This could also possibly be a kind of a last-ditch effort alternative backup resource if you're in "quote unquote" space. Something happens. Gotta do it, man.
Yeah.
Gotta get some oxygen in my body.
There's really so many applications for this technology, guys.
Yeah. Cody doesn't like it.
Wow.
He's against the whole thing.
Truly the most disturbing thing I've ever read in interesting engineering.
Definitely interesting.
I'll tell you what, that is pretty interesting. I wouldn't call it cool, but I'd call it interesting. Takebe.
And of course, this was published on August 3rd, 2022 at 9:33 a.m.
Wow. Did you seek this out?
No.
Did you find this? Did
somebody sent it to us.
It to you?
Yes.
Okay, somebody sent it to us. Thank you to the producer who sent this in. Truly a treat and a treasure.
It was Kira OC. She might be in the chat.
Kira OC. She was in the chat earlier. I don't know if she's here now. Wow. Well, there you go, folks. This is what you stay through the whole show for. This is why you listen to the whole show. You don't bail out at any of the breaks. You stick it to the end so you can hear about Takebe sticking it to the pigs. Okay, that was inappropriate. We're going to end the show now. Ready?
Definitely.
Thanks,
ready.
everybody.